Welcome, everyone. This is our second episode of Louisiana FFA Alumni, Where Are They Now? I'm Victoria Hickton, a Louisiana FFA State Treasurer, and I'm joined here today by a former Louisiana FFA State Officer, Steve Peirce. So welcome, Mr. Peirce, and why don't you start off by telling us a little bit about yourself?
Well, hi, Victoria, and thank you very much for the opportunity to speak with you today. And, isn't Zoom a neat thing when we're on opposite sides of the country? I'm living in Las Vegas, Nevada now. Our business is in St. Louis, Missouri, and hey, Zoom works nicely when we need to talk, regardless of our locations.
Comes very conveniently. So where are you from and where did you go to high school at?
Perfect. Was born in Texas, but about fifth grade, we moved to Baton Rouge, Louisiana. And I stayed in Baton Rouge all the way from fifth grade through college. Went to Broadmoor High School and then went to school at LSU and got a degree in ag business, ag economics.
And when you were in high school, you were an active FFA member. Can you tell us a little bit about your experiences there?
I'm going to guess my experiences may have been very different than most other members. I had the pleasure of starting two different FFA chapters, one at Broadmoor Junior High School and then another one at Broadmoor Senior High School. And the background on that one is I had some uncles that were older than I was. I kind of grew up near them, and they never would let me wear their blue jackets when I was a little kid. I'm sure I was a punk. And they don't touch that jacket, and they never let me put it on. And I wanted one of those blue and gold jackets so badly that I wound up starting two chapters just to get the jacket. And then, wow, that opened up a whole world of activities after getting the jacket.
I can definitely imagine that, and lots of our members definitely, I know, feel those same ways. And obviously, you were a very active member in high school. You went on to be a state officer. Having all of those experiences, how did you decide what you wanted to do later with your future career?
Well, yes, my FFA background really gave me an amazing foundation. Was fortunate enough to go to a couple of different national conventions when they were still in Kansas City, Missouri. Had the chance to see Jimmy Carter, one of our former U.S. presidents, and he talked about, he was from the Plains, Georgia FFA chapter, and how it gave him the foundation. So hearing those things in high school made me think, okay, this is a stepping stone to where I wanted to go. Wound up going to work for Monsanto, did a couple of summer internships, and then went to work with them and lived in Lafayette, Louisiana, selling herbicides to rice, soybean, and sugarcane farmers. So walked many, many fields in South and Central Louisiana and was promoted up to their headquarters in St. Louis, Missouri, and got off on the ag business trail. That's what my degree was in, was ag business, and enjoyed working in the industry. Took a little turn into the real estate world for a few years, and in 1992 was a co-founder for RIBUS Incorporated, which is where I am now, and that stands for Rice Ingredient Business United States. So I had grown up in FFA as well as at the university. People talked about value-added agriculture, and it sounded nice, but what was it? Well, we actually put that to use here at RIBUS, where we're taking the byproducts. And Victoria, since you're from Opelousas, you understand the rice and the rice industry. Everybody's after the white rice, but they typically throw away the rice bran or the rice hulls. RIBUS, we buy nothing but the hulls and the bran, use some patented technology to turn them into food ingredients that we supply to some 40 countries around the world. That is value-added agriculture.
Wow. Can you tell us some of those challenges from your point of view that you faced in this agricultural industry?
Good question. You're going to make me think for a minute. Challenges were really understanding what was needed by the business, how to organize things, how to put a structure together. Many of the things that I learned coming up through the FFA, how to work with committees, how to delegate tasks and responsibilities to other people, and very importantly, how to look outside of your network for people that are more experienced, smarter, more of the specialist. Yes, today we can go on YouTube and learn many things, but you've really got to go to those people that are specialists when you know what your issues are. And that was always the biggest thing is, all right, here's what I need to know how to do. Who can I turn to?
You're definitely right about knowing those kinds of information, and we're lucky to have all these specific contests and knowledge we learn through the FFA and agricultural education. Some of these contests our students participate in are the food science CDE, and they're able to take it and make possible careers out of them even. So what is your outlook on the role of FFA members in today's industry?
I think there's unlimited opportunities, and it depends on what you want. I know some of the education programs have modified a little bit to stay current with the times, but whether it was shop classes and welding and mechanics and the things that you learn there, I was very interested in livestock when I was growing up. I thought I was going to be a veterinarian. A little career change along the way. But whatever your hot button is or wherever your passion is, and I know a lot of people talk about passion and they say, if you find a job that you're passionate about, it's not work, but it's just an opportunity to learn and commit yourself. And so follow your passion, whatever that may be. And as you know, through the FFA, there are many, many different things. And one of the reasons that I chose to get involved and RIBUS chose to get involved in the food science competition is because the business that I'm in now is in that space. We're not flavor makers. We're not specialists in a lot of those areas, but we do work with those professionals every day. And when someone from the Louisiana FFA reached out to me and said, hey, we're doing these competitions and we're doing these, would you be willing to sponsor the food science? And when I got a chance to read what they were teaching and the training that was involved in it, I said, it is perfectly aligned with what we deal with every day in industry. So it's a great opportunity for the students to learn and then, acknowledge and reward those teams and chapters and students that excel in that area.
It sounds like you really have a job that you love to do, and it's like every day you're not even working because you love it. And obviously I can see you think supporting our members now as an alumni member is so important because this is building up their future careers.
Absolutely. I enjoy what I'm doing. I'm 60 years old now, and people said, when are you going to retire? When are you going to retire? I said, gee, I'm just now having the fun that's supposed to come with this. I've been blessed along the way in so many different ways, but I'm having fun. And why am I going to leave when I'm on top? We're not seeing the LSU football coach retire this year just because he won the national championship last year. He's, picking himself up by the bootstraps, recruiting more people and engaged in what they do. And it's fun to get the chance to give back. It's fun to tell old stories with people that you knew back when. There's a number of teachers around the state that I went to high school and college with. So it's interesting to see how their career paths have taken them and the kind of students that they've worked with. And bottom line, you help where you can, but it's fun to come back and see the conventions and see what has changed, some of the music and throwing of the T-shirts. And you guys are doing things very different than we did in the 1970s, but that's probably a good thing. We were a little bit boring compared to what you guys are doing, but it's neat to see the way the FFA has adapted and still providing those future leaders in agriculture, because we're blessed. In this country, most people are eating 3 times a day. And I've said, regardless where in the world I go, the United States has got the widest variety of foods, the safest foods in the world, at the lowest percentage of disposable income. So our food's very affordable, very safe, and we've got a wide selection. So the farmers and everyone in ag business are doing an amazing job.
And I see a lot of members, they come from non-traditional ag backgrounds, and they go enter an ag classroom and end up contributing to this greater good of our food resources in the United States, which I think is very outstanding.
Absolutely. And I was fortunate enough probably 4 years ago to be appointed to a role as an advisor to the Secretary of Agriculture, and never dreamed that I would be in any kind of role like that. And I was on a committee that was advising on seeds and grains. And it's amazing how important the grassroots things that maybe we take for granted, having grown up in agriculture, there's people on the federal level that need local input. And so our knowledge and our experience can be multiplied in order to help make legislative decisions and recommendations all the way to the Secretary of Ag.
And it's so great that we have people like you and your companies that support and want to inform the public, not only just our consumers, but our legislators about what's going on in the ag industry and what we should do to better it.
Now, I agree with that completely, and I tell my friends, whether it's through church, through social organizations, or anything else, America did not become the country it is by just sitting at home and being silent. We owe it to our elected officials, whether it's a local, state, or federal level, to let them know, if we have knowledge, here's how we would encourage them to vote. If they voted for something that we like, we need to support them. If they're voting a little contrary to what we think is right, we need to ask them what influenced you or what caused you to make that decision. America and its democracy is not passive. So again, be involved on the local level, express your opinions, because there are people out there that do represent each of us.
The local level is definitely where we find all of our problems and find solutions for them, so we can send them up to this state or federal level and they can help fix them.
No, you're absolutely right. And, you know, we know this in agriculture. Sometimes the common sense answers are what we really need in a tricky situation. And whether it's parents or grandparents or other people involved in agriculture, agriculture's got a way to solve problems, because they're some of the most creative and resourceful people that I've met anywhere in the world, the American farmer and the Ag Business Network. So it sounds like you are on top of your game as state treasurer. Where are you planning to go to college, or where are you going to college, and what's your future in agriculture?
So I'm a college freshman at Louisiana State University. I'm
Great.
currently in the Agriculture and Extension Education department, and I'm hopefully one day want to go to law school and end up in legislation and help build policy for our farmers and ranchers.
Well, excellent. That's an amazing goal. One of the state officers that I served with, Randall Schneider, he went on to become an attorney, and state officer that became an attorney in the state of Louisiana. So, no, you're following in some amazing footsteps. And yes, the common sense and the background that you've got through your college education into law school, I'm sure you will do an amazing job for agriculture, whether it's Louisiana or nationwide.
It's great to see how FFA not only prepared me for the agriculture aspect of the world, but also the leadership and soft skills that every job needs to have.
Oh yes, those are critical elements, and for the rest of your life you'll be learning about the soft skills, because things change over time, and different people in different groups and different circumstances call for a diversity in leadership. So I can tell you're on the right track.
Well, it has been such a great time talking to you, Mr. Steve. Is there any advice you would like to share with our members?
Oh, now you're hitting me with the tough questions. You know, work hard and follow your passion. And those are the big things right there. I mean, you study hard, apply yourself. Nothing new that people in agriculture don't already understand. you're going to get back what you put in. There will be hard work. It doesn't matter whether you like your job or don't. You're going to work hard. It's a lot more fun when you find something that you're good at and you're passionate about. So good luck to everyone across the state. Hope we have a great planting season and season in agriculture. America and the rest of the world does need the food that is being produced in Louisiana and the agribusiness that processes it. So good luck to everyone involved in agriculture across the whole state.
Again, thank you so much for joining us. Be sure to watch our third episode of Louisiana FFA Alumni, Where Are They Now?